Hands up if you're a fan of coconut water, but where did that coconut water come from? Well, it is one of the trendiest beverages on the market right now, but many are reaching for the packaged products rather than the fresh fruit. So what exactly are the differences? Teresa Tang went to find out.
Looking at the current IT drink. The humble coconut is making quite a splash in the beverage industry and is described by some as a nutrient powerhouse. A trend towards healthy hydration is driving its popularity. Consumers are reaching for options that are less carbonated and less sweet and are demanding that drinks do more than just quench their thirst. In 2016, the coconut water industry was worth $2.7 billion. That is expected to double to $5.4 billion in 2020, according to food and drink consultancy Zenith Global. Analysts say the Asia Pacific and South America are the fastest growth markets. Why? Well, the region's familiarity with fresh coconut water predisposes them to the packaged versions. Corporates like Coca-Cola and PepsiCo have noticed, and they are now some of the key vendors in the coconut water space. Lucas Lin fell in love with the tropical fruit on a trip to Malacca. His shop, Mr. Coconut, was born. Coconut water is the foundation of all his beverages. He gets most of his coconuts from Thailand.
In terms of a fresh coconut itself, right, when it cut itself, after you cut, right, you only have 2 days. Within 2 days, you need to consume the coconut. If not, it will lose all the nutrients, and also the freshness, sweetness, it will be lost.
Now, depending on where they come from, coconuts have a different flavor as well.
Yeah.
The Thai coconuts, what is their flavor profile?
Their flavor profile, okay, in terms of Thai coconut, they have a very sweet, natural sweetness. In coconut, there's 2 stages. So one is matured and one is young coconut. We are using the young coconut, where the taste of the coconut water, because for matured coconut, right, it will lose the certain sweetness when it reaches the mature stage. But young coconut is always with the natural sweetness, and also there's the meat inside is also more tenderish.
And just across the border, Malaysia, of course, they have plenty of coconut. And these are some from Malaysia.
Yeah, these are from Malaysia. Cross border itself, Malaysia coconut actually it brings a lot of a little bit of sour taste compared to the Thailand coconut. So when we actually produce our coconut drinks itself, the taste might not bring in the natural sweetness inside. So it might bring down to a bit of sourish.
You'd be hard-pressed to enter a supermarket and not find coconut water somewhere on the shelves. This health coach says there are real benefits, and there are many.
So coconuts have long been touted for their health benefits. A lot of people use it as an electrolyte replenisher. But let's get to the bottom of it. Is it really that healthy of a beverage?
Yes, and actually coconut is really amazing because it has so many benefits internally and externally. So internally, right from the brain all the way to the bladder. So in terms of brain, it helps to improve cognitive function. So you know a lot of people take coconut oil to kind of improve their brain functioning. And it actually contains transitine, which is used to treat Alzheimer's and also like dementia patients. And because of that hydration, the high electrolytes actually helps to prevent headaches, you know, and migraines.
So now you don't have to go to a jungle, into a tropical environment to find coconut. You'll find them in the grocery store. And these are just a few of the many packaged coconut beverages you can find. But obviously there's a difference between fresh and packaged. What would you say the biggest differences are?
So to me, fresh is always best, you know, but in terms of like package, it's because of convenience and portability. Like, you know, everyone rather brings a bottle of this rather than to bring like, you know, one of these coconuts. I have to figure out how to chop it, you know. But usually it's best to always look at like, you know, make sure you look at the ingredients list to see that it's like 100% coconut water.
And I know with fresh coconut, it's the young coconut that people typically drink, whereas in some packages, they use mature coconut, which makes it not as sweet, right? So the flavor is different?
Yes, you're very right, actually. So like when you get your fresh coconut, it's fresh, you know, the green coconuts that, you know, they shave off. But for certain packaged drinks, you know, you wouldn't know. The only thing you can tell is by shelf life. So obviously when it's out on the shelf and it's gonna expire in only 2 years, you know that the coconut water has definitely been treated. And most of the time, like mature coconut water is used because, you know, they go through high heat pressurization to get rid of all the bacteria, and sadly they kill all the enzymes as well. But basically they do that kind of high heat in order to have a longer shelf life. So in fact, like, even though you see that it's 100% coconut water, but actually it's gone through some processes to extend its life on the shelf so that, you know, you can keep your coconut water for a longer time. It's interesting because every part of the coconut has different nutrition benefits. So we're talking here actually in general for like coconuts. So even like the flesh, you know, the milk, the water, you know, it actually helps in terms of regulating your blood sugar levels. So that is really good for diabetics. I actually came across this really interesting fact about coconut as well, like coconut water. Like they actually use it as a drip, you know, for people because it's been known to be the only natural substance that actually has that structure of high sugars and salts to act as an MV drip. So it's quite amazing. In the World War II days, they actually use it for soldiers waiting for emergency blood transfusions.
Coming from the States, I know you spent some time there, there's a very strong culture around packaged coconut beverages. And it's a bit ironic because in Asia, fresh coconut is so readily available, yet the packaged stuff is coming in as well. Can you tell me about that marketing around packaged coconut drinks?
Yeah, I think the packaging really sells to people because obviously when you look at this coconut, you know, it's just a plain white fruit. And you know, when you go for sports events, you know, outings, you know, it's all this colorful packaging, the way it's like, you know, packaged, that you're like, oh wow, you know, you see all the colors, you know, and most of them would say 100% coconut water, except for those that are flavored here, you know, you see the additional sweeteners, you know, sugars and all. But basically packaging sells to people, and they find it easy to carry it around, you know, and I think it's more of just the hype and the packaging, the branding that drives that consumerism in the US.
There are challenges when it comes to supply, though. The Philippines is still feeling the effects of Super Typhoon Haiyan in 2013. That storm damaged 44 million coconut palms. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, the government is focusing more on rice and corn production and not replacing older coconut trees. Despite that, predictions for market growth in the packaged product remains.
Do you think that it's only going to grow in popularity, the coconut beverage itself, and do you think packaging is where more people will be looking?
Yeah, I definitely think that it's a growing trend. I mean, it was not very long ago I saw only a few brands of packaged drinks, but now there's like a whole variety and like just shelves full of like, you know, branded coconut packaged waters. So I feel that this trend is not going to die. You know, I just hope that people would understand better the differences between packaged and coconut water, even though it says, you know, 100% coconut water.